Firefighters are still at this hour putting out hotspots at this building here on the campus, and they're putting a lot of focus on this tower-like structure at this building. And this is what's left of the old school building for the Madonna Manor side of the property. For some watching the fire today, they saw some complicated history going up in flames. And take a look at this video. This is of the fire earlier this afternoon. Smoke was pouring out of the building and was visible as we came off the West Bank Expressway. The fire chief says the fire broke out around 11:50 this morning. Within minutes, firefighters responded to the one-alarm fire as traffic in and around Barataria Boulevard was diverted so crews could work. The Archdiocese of New Orleans owns the building and says it's been empty for some time. The chief of Marrero and Harvey Fires says their focus now is to get the fire under control, and then they can begin to figure out what may have caused it.
So it's way too early for that right now. We haven't even made it inside the building yet, so I don't want to speculate. But we do have the investigators on scene with the sheriff's office, and they're working to help us determine that so we can get inside the building.
It's unbelievable because you're losing history and memories, and I know they're not going to rebuild it, and you can't even get that kind of material today, you know? It's just sad. It's heartbreaking.
And you already know, on this channel, we hold racist, Caucasian people accountable, because if we don't, who will? And before we start this video, if you don't like black people, black talks, black issues, get to stepping. Yes, there are reports of abuse at the Hope Haven campus, and these reports involve children of various backgrounds, including those who may be black. Multiple lawsuits and accounts describe a pattern of physical and SA, I can't say the word, so I'm going to say SA, at the Hope Haven and Madonna Manor campuses between the 1940s and the 1980s. At least 65 people have alleged abuse, including whipping. I can't say this word, but it ends with station and it starts with an M. Or worse, while confined to the campus. The abuse was perpetrated by priests, brothers, and nuns, as well as lay employees and volunteers. Make that make sense. And you heard this woman. Even though in that building people was harmed and abused, to them it's a part of history, and it makes them sad that that building burned down. But we saw the same thing with the Nottoway plantation when it burned down. We saw the same thing with the DC plantation when it burned down. We saw the same goddamn thing with the Confederate Museum in North Carolina when it was destroyed. I'm telling you, for some reason, these people always love to preserve these buildings where people were harmed and abused in. But don't just take my word for it. Run the tape.
As part of the abandoned Hope Haven Orphanage, operated for years by the Archdiocese of New Orleans. Tonight, a man who once lived in the home tells our Amelia Strahan why this fire is bringing up complicated memories.
Just when I passed there, just the memories that pop up, the things that went on, and just watching, you know, in my mind, playing back with what happened.
As flames engulfed the abandoned school on Hope Haven's campus, Theodore Jackson says he felt a spark of relief.
Every day I was there. I mean, you couldn't go, that's why I say couldn't go to the teachers or anything like that. So, you know, it was just a hard time.
Because left in the ashes are memories that Jackson says still haunt him today.
But it was a lot of trauma, you know. You think you had a friend and it wasn't really a friend. And so you just wasn't nowhere really to turn. And so it was just traumatic, bad experience for me.
Jackson was one of dozens of young boys who survived abuse at the former West Bank Orphanage.
Kind of eerie, kind of, you know, it's like a gut punch, you know, like, man, you know, I wish it would just go away sometime, you know.
For decades, this campus was the center of and physical abuse of children at the hands of clergy members. Earlier this year, the Archdiocese agreed to sell part of the property to Jefferson Parish for $3.8 million as they continue working to finance a settlement with survivors.
I have to kind of pass by more often than I would like.
The Archdiocese told WWL Louisiana on Wednesday the building that caught fire is not part of the property they're selling to the parish, and they are, quote, not aware of a reason this should affect the settlement. Fire crews say there was no power to the building, and it's too early to speculate what may have caused the blaze.
Make that make sense. And they always talking about the black community this, the black community that, but they never speaking on. Somehow the media always speeds through these stories about the Catholic schools and the Catholic churches. I mean, check this out. Just the other day, 800 infants' remains were found in a septic tank The home was ran by Catholic nuns and closed in 1961 after many children died. Make that make sense? But they love to say the black community is evil. Tell me I'm lying. And I don't know what it is with these people, but they really think they can move on and make millions of dollars after harming our people for decades. And they really think their ancestors forgot. You even had the senator of Marrero. He said this. Check this out. Senator Pat Connick said, "Forgive as best you can. We won't forget you," Connick said. "These are crimes that don't just last for days. They last a lifetime. But we have to get past that. If we don't, evil wins." What you talking about, Willis? Connick said the structures are worth saving, and there must be a message outside of Hope Haven for anyone abused. According to Connick, the plan includes $2 million for the park improvements, $2.5 million for preservation work, and $3.85 million for the purchase to own, all adding up to $8 million. Make that make sense. And he said this back in March, but I told y'all, I keep telling y'all, the real criminals in this country is politicians. All that money he's talking about is going to be stolen and pocketed, especially in Marrero. And as much as I love New Orleans, just look at the roads. If it takes them a year to fix a pothole in the neighborhood, you really think they give a damn about people who was abused in the 1940s to the 1980s? Hell no, they can care less. I told y'all the game is cold. And see, you're going to have a lot of people saying that they caused the fire themselves to get insurance money. Look, times have changed. We saw what happened in LA with their wildfire, what these insurance companies are doing these days. They're not getting no money from them old ass buildings. I keep telling y'all, trust me, the ancestors been spinning and spinning, and I love that shit. And before I go, y'all already know I have to speak from the heart. In my opinion, this is only the beginning. It's going to be more plantations. It's going to be more racist, historic buildings that's destroyed, because in this country, they love to talk down on black people, but cover up their dirt. In this country, they love to tell you get over slavery. It's in the past. They love to tell you that racism is over. Meanwhile, they making millions of dollars from slavery. Meanwhile, they're making millions of dollars from racism. Tell me I'm lying. So once again, shout out to the ancestors and happy Juneteenth, Ashe. But before I go, in the words of Usher, let it burn.
Oh, I can see all the flames on the inside now. Yeah. Oh, you see it at the bottom.